here to guide us through it is Melissa Stein, who we're just so incredibly lucky to have. I'm really excited to have her tonight. She is an award-winning poet and ventriloquist, and actually her collection, Rough Honey, which I believe she has copies for sale. Could you imagine that? Her collection, Rough Honey, won the 2010 APR/Honigman First Book Prize, which was selected by Mark Doty, and it was published by American Public Poetry Review in association with Copper Canyon Press. And you know, the ventriloquism thing, there actually have been several prestigious poetry readings, including a few NEH events, where I think half the readers, or at least 3 or 4 of the readers, were stuffed llamas and potted fir trees and, you know, possibly statues that were just like Melissa Stein doing different voices, and nobody realized, and like, it's been kind of embarrassing when stuffed llamas get NEH fellowships and people have like inquiries afterwards and like, how did that happen? And like, why am I losing my voice? Sorry. It is thick. Sorry. And you know, so why has this continued to happen? It's been tearing the poetry scene apart. And to understand how this came to be, you have to sort of look back into Melissa Stein's career, because of course, as we all know, she was the sort of driving force behind writing the scripts for most of the wave of like dirt bike movies that hit like 5 or 6 years ago. You remember when like every other movie was about kids on dirt bikes and like their adventures and dirt and, you know, biking and BMXs and stuff. And they were huge, and they were like they were like Twilight before there was Twilight, and like Melissa Stein was the only one who really got in there and asked the tough questions like, what if they get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere? Why is there only ever like one girl in the group of dirt bikers? And like, why does she always have to sprain her ankle on the final reel? And like, you know, other stuff like that. And she starts shaking up the formula and really bringing a new gritty realism to dirt bikes. Yes. Which, you know, you'd think dirt bikes would be gritty because there's dirt, but this was more gritty. And like, you know, she wrote several of these, and finally she wrote Handlebar Crash, which was like the Citizen Kane of dirt bike movies. And it won like, it was the first like Oscar-nominated dirt bike movie, I think. You know, you can correct me on that though. And, but unfortunately, you know, the frustrating part of it for her was that she would always write these amazing speeches for the girl in the dirt bike gang. The one girl, the speeches would end up being cut, and they'd be like a DVD extra or something, and like, you know, you can watch them all on YouTube, but it's kind of sad. They're not in the movies, and so she finally collected them all into a book of like just basically like dirt bike girl speeches, and that became her first poetry collection. But then there was like the dirt biking strike of 2007, where everybody was just gone, and you know, and the people who did show up had basically like some kind of dirt bike related laryngitis on set, and so basically they needed someone to do the voices right now because the film was going to be in theaters next weekend. They were filming on a really fast turnaround, and so she had to do all the voices for this one dirt biking movie, and she discovered that ventriloquism was really where, you know, besides poetry, was like really where her talents lay. And so, yeah. So it's kind of a form of sort of dirt biking neo-benching. Anyway, so please welcome the amazing and multi-talented Melissa Stein.